Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, John Alone. In this episode, no regulars because reasons as always. As for our guest, she's from the Charleston area of South Carolina, United States of America. She is an artist, art mentor, author, actor, filmmaker, and creative specialist, and a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Karen DeLoach. Hello there.
Hello. I lost you.
That's alright, I was just waiting for you to say hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, hi.
It's alright. So, how's life?
Well, right now we have a hurricane skirting our coast, so it's been very rainy, but it's exciting. We're not going to have damage here, so that's good. Lots of rain though. Other than that, life is good. Life is creative.
Yes, it sure is. Is there anything you're currently working on or up to recently?
Yeah, I've got a ceramic commission I'm doing working in clay. These manatees that are a mascot of a restaurant, making a bunch of those for them. Working on a painting, a portrait painting of my brother for his 60th birthday in the next couple of weeks, and working on my coaching business, helping people find their particular creative niche, because even those people that don't identify as artists or artistes have half their brain devoted to creativity, and I love to see that get stirred up in people. I feel like that's my superpower, is helping people stir up their creative gifts.
Fabulous. What inspired you to take the path you're currently on right now?
Well, that's a good question because, as an artist, it's easy to get very wrapped up in your own work. But I found I love teaching, and it's one reason why I went to graduate school, is to teach in college. And I didn't know I was going to end up writing the textbooks we would use, because I come from a rural state that we don't have a lot of art that people are familiar with. And I wrote a book with 1,800 images so they could get excited about the rich history of Western art. I make them do art and find their own creative niche, and find them an art that they can love, and find that there's a great response for that. Try not to make my art history appreciation classes boring. I didn't expect to be writing books, but my How to Draw book and my How to Painting book I use in my classes to really help people get the fundamentals that they need. If they want to draw, if they want to paint, then they can become good at it and then find their own way through that. I've found in the last couple of years, as we've all gone online, right, learned how to teach art online, that you can reach more people, just like you coming from another continent. That it's really a wonderful way that it's opened up the world to get the message out that we're all creatives, that we were born that way, that art is self-therapy, that there is wellness through creativity. And as a teacher, and even from my own life, I've seen how doing arts, whether it's music, art, dance, writing, gardening, these things stimulate that part of our brain, create these beautiful neural pathways. So as I saw students getting healing, I wanted to study and find out what's going on, and found that when you do, even for 15 minutes, do something engaging your right brain, serotonin, the happiness chemical, gets released. That people get their moods elevated, that they lose brain fog and all kinds of things that some people are struggling with these days. So I've gotten excited and passionate about sharing that. I get to work with these Ugandan youths that I met on a trip there, who wanted to tell their stories, and I've been teaching them filmmaking, and with the magic of Zoom, I can communicate with them. They just finished shooting their second film, which is in the editing stages now, getting them to help write their story, tell their stories, and get it out to the world. So it's an amazing time we live in, where we have access to this kind of technology, where we can communicate and connect with people all over the world. It's exciting to me. And so my message of, you are a creative, and you're going to be at your most brilliant when you're engaging your right brain and finding what is it that is your creative niche. So some studies I read said 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 98% of them are creative geniuses, but only 2% of adults. So my question, what happens in those decades? And for us, a lot of it is the education system that really promotes left brain knowledge and experience and understanding of logic and order and critical thinking and memorization and those timeliness. Those are all very wonderful skills. They're easy to employ, but often they cut out the things that build our right brain brilliance, the arts and the music and dance. And without a balance of these things, I don't think people are operating in their most fulfilled or their most brilliant. But you don't have to be an artist or musician to engage that part of our brain. So I ask people, what did you love when you were 5 years old? So, Jamie, what did you love to do when you were 5?
Well, I can't remember fully, but I do get like a broad idea back in the day. Uh, I enjoy going outside and going places, especially visiting family in Brazil. That was a great time. And what else? Yeah, I think that's about it. That's all I can remember.
So, do you still find that you enjoy going outside and sightseeing or enjoying nature
Yeah, I do.
and seeing new places?
Yes, indeed.
Well, I find that there's a key for a lot of people to remember. Well, did you love spinning in the playground? Did you, like me, love directing the students in plays? Okay, this piece of equipment is a spaceship and there's an alien. You're the alien and you're the astronaut and you're going to rescue the person in distress. So these are something I didn't know eventually I'd be going to film school and love telling stories. But my Irish storytelling father, who was in vaudeville in New York, and passed on some of those storytelling gifts. And I think that engaging in storytelling is a great way that people can operate and get into their left brain. Now, here's right brain. Here's another thing. They studied people singing in the shower. Do you like to sing?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, believe it or not, there you are, rub-a-dub-dubbing, scrubbing in the tub, singing away while you're engaging left brain, right brain, building these neural connections, resting. You're not trying to figure anything out. You're just enjoying singing along. You come out, you've got this serotonin release of the happiness chemical. You're feeling good. And suddenly an idea comes to you. Maybe it's an idea for another podcast or a direction to go. Maybe it's the title of the chapter in a book you're writing. Maybe it's solving some relationship issue, but something comes to mind because as you've been singing, you're connecting that part of your brain with the right brain and coming up with new ways of thinking. Albert Einstein, probably one of the greatest creative geniuses of the 20th century, said that creativity is intelligence having fun. So as adults, sometimes we forget how to have fun, how to enjoy our lives. And as I share with people and figure out how to connect them with their own creative right brain brilliance, I get to see them enjoying their life and the moments of their life better. So I've got this 3-part podcast that I give away. It's 20-minute episodes called getcreativewithkaren.com. And it's a way to learn more about how you can find your own creative niche. Cooking is a way of creativity. Gardening is another way of engaging your creative right brain. But even something more simple than that is taking a stroll. Okay, I'm not talking about with your Fitbit counting your steps or doing aerobics, which are all good things. I'm talking about being in the moment, maybe enjoying the sunset, enjoying the colors of the trees as they're turning, listening to the birds singing or children playing or seeing someone's pet walking by. Enjoying that moment actually ignites our right brain. It releases that happiness chemical, elevates our mood, makes us feel better, plus just getting outside. So as you wander, either as a tourist or a hiker, you're actually engaging both sides of your brain and then you're getting rid of brain fog, depression, and all kinds of negative things. It releases stress out of our body, which we need cortisol. We just don't need that much cortisol. So we want to be in balance with those things. And I don't think people can feel as fulfilled in their life if they're not engaging in some right-brained activity regularly in their lives. Maybe it's through sketching, maybe it's through taking notes, journaling, singing, playing an instrument. I come from a lot of musicians in my family. All my sons and my husband are all musicians, and they are just perfectly happy when they're just jamming together.
Yeah, absolutely. So out of all the jobs and opportunities you have done so far, which one did you enjoy doing most?
Boy, that's a tough one. I think with ADD people, it's the one we're doing now. I had, I always had people telling me, you're just interested in so many things, you're never going to be a master of any. But I think that's part of just being a creative. You want to try a lot of different things. I love to paint. I love to sculpt. I love to sing and dance, and I love to do movies. So it's really hard to pick one. It's always the one I'm doing now that's most fun. I even love teaching. I love finding other people's joy in their creative gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Art is self-therapy, wellness through creativity. I'd have everybody there with paper and pencil or crayon, and we would be drawing, and I'd be getting them in their right brain. I wouldn't let them look at their paper while they're drawing so they can really be focused on what they're looking at and find people's engagement and how that feels when you do combine left brain, right brain thinking. Easy
Fair enough,
peasy.
yes. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Right now, it would be Leipzig, Germany, because I have two sons with their wives and grandbabies living there 6,000 miles away. So I would live there with them. I've been taking German so I can speak with them. Although my little grandsons are bilingual. My granddaughter and grandson are bilingual, but living close to them would be a blast.
Oh, yes, absolutely. What was the last book you've read?
The Ideal Life by Mark Cogden. It's a coaching book about goal setting and how we really get our most joy out of having goals that are bigger than our own lifespan, that are almost not achievable because it's the process of going on that goal pursuit that gives us our most joy. Not even achieving the goal gives us as much joy as being on that journey. He tells a story of the swimmer, Mark Phelps, who won so many gold medals in the Olympics and then went into terrible depression. He didn't know what to do. He had spent all his life with that goal in mind. And once he achieved it, it's like, okay, I'm 20 years old. Now what do I do? And he found that, teaching other people how to reach for their goals and live a life that is about having goals bigger than us. So that's the
That is
latest.
so true. If your mind was an island, what would it look
A spider web. Have lots of spider webs, spiders on it. Because I find that with ADD people, we have all these, it's not roads and streets, it's all this interconnections like a big giant spider web. I bet that was a surprising answer.
Yes, it sure is. Have you met anyone famous?
No, I can't think of anybody famous I've actually met.
That's all
One
right.
thing, when you live in the backwaters of South Carolina, there's not a lot of famous people. I've seen them from afar, but not met them personally. I've been to 4 Trump rallies and got to see them from afar, but that's about it.
Yeah, of course. If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would it be?
Chocolate. Chocolate and pizza. My favorite foods.
Ah, all right. Would you rather not be able to close open doors or not be able to open closed doors?
Close them would be better than not being able to open them. Not being able to close them, I think, would be less trauma for me than not being able to open. These are interesting questions I've never been asked before. Very good.
Ah, yeah. What kind of music do you often listen to?
Broadway musicals, and I sing along
Nice.
with all of them.
If there is a song for every time you entered the room, what song would that be?
I'm the greatest star from Funny Girl, Barbara Streisand. I got 26 expressions, sweet as pie to tough as leather, and that's 6 expressions more than all them Barrymores put together. Instead of just kicking me, why don't they give me a lift? Well, it must be a plot, because they're scared that I got such a gift. That's the first part of that song. Because I'm the greatest star, and no one knows by far. Have you ever heard that song before?
No, I've never heard that song before.
You're probably too young to know Funny Girl. I recommend it highly.
All right then.
I
What's
raised all 4 of my children listening to old musicals. They love them too, even though that's not the
Yeah.
music that my sons are musicians and they
If
play
someone wrote
eclectic.
a,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if someone wrote a book about you, what do you
Hmm.
think its title would?
She was fun
Ah, okay. Until what happened?
till she wasn't here anymore. I presume it was a post-mortem book.
Yeah,
Funny and fun and love people. I think that's why I like to paint portraits, as I love people.
yeah, of course. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Speak all languages.
Same.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of a drink called banana friche?
No, sounds good.
Yeah,
Bananas.
yeah, yeah, of course. It's something, alright. What is the best way to travel?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
What got you into podcasting?
yes. That's a question that a lot of my guests have asked at some point. So, it all started many years ago. Have you heard of a app called Vine?
Yes?
And the guy that made the app, Vine.
No, I don't know who it is. Was it you?
So, nope, it was not me. But he is important to the story.
Okay.
So the guy that made Vine made another app called Byte. It was to relive the vibes, the nostalgia that Vine had. And
Hmm.
I was on that app. And on this app, over time, I met this guy from Scotland who's wanted to start a social media creator group. I've asked, can I join? And he said, yes, welcome to the group. And a couple more members joined eventually. And then for the for a few months on end, me, him, and a couple other people in the group were recording weekly, maybe bi-weekly podcast episodes to be uploaded onto podcasting platforms and on YouTube. And one night in December 2019, the guy from Scotland asked me, "Do you want to start your own podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go." And from there, I was looking at what to do for a podcast, how to start it, and what to do. And once I knew all of that, uh, January 2022, the rest was history. And since then I've been going on for nearly over 2 years.
Well, congratulations. That's a big accomplishment. And it is engaging right brain, left brain because you have to have all the technology and scheduling and everything in order with your brilliant left brain, and then you're connecting it with brand new content with your left right brain. So it's building all these neural connections and just making you smarter and smarter every week. Well done.
Yes, thank you. What food have you never eaten but you would like to try? Bison. Okay, that's cool. What is your favorite season?
Summer. Oh,
Oh,
I
yes.
love the sunshine and swimming and the ocean and the sun on my face and skin. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I live in the right place. I live in a sunny place. People complain about the heat here all the time, but not me. I love it. Now, I'm grateful for air conditioning because it gets really hot, but I really love the sunshine in the summer. Plus, it reminds me of growing up and being off of school and getting to have lots of free time. And so I love the summer, the slower pace, the wonderful beauty of our very flowery and green place that I live. So it's my favorite.
Yes. Good for you. Air conditioning in homes where I'm from doesn't exist. In my
Really?
hometown, yes, because the thing is, homes in the UK are designed to insulate the heat from within. It's not meant to be cool. It's meant to be warm. And when summer hits and there are very high temperatures, the humidity, it's absolutely wild. It becomes unbearable in those kinds of days of summer, and yeah, uh, these headlines cover it all the time. There's a heat wave. Everyone is like, "Oh, the heat is too much." And then, of course, people across the pond were saying, "It's not even that hard." And yeah, I understand it's not hard, but the homes are insulated. It's not meant to let air circulate. It's meant to trap the heat in. So yeah, it's so much to comprehend and cope with.
Well, all you have to do is get one of those window air conditioning units and put it in your bedroom, and everybody will be gathered in your bedroom when it gets so hot. Or fans, ventilators, that helps too. Fans. We have fans, ceiling fans in every room of our houses here in South Carolina because even if the air conditioner's not running, we got the air moving because it doesn't get very cold here. It's mild in the spring and summer, I mean, spring and fall, and sometimes all you need is a fan. But in the winter, we hardly ever use the heater. We have a special air conditioner just in our bedroom to keep it ice cold at nighttime, almost year round. So it's a totally different climate. It is humid here, though, which keeps your skin young looking, don't you know? That's why you have all those beautiful English rose complexions on so many people in Great Britain. I was just there doing an art workshop in December, and I got to see a bunch of snow. That was fun.
Yeah, of course. If you could erase one past experience, what would it be?
When I was in Germany in December, I was in a bus accident. The bus driver tried not to hit a car, and I was sitting sideways next to my grandson, and I went flying across the bus and hit my face. My glasses broke, and I got a scar to remind me of that bus ride. And they said it was because I had soft gloves on that were cloth, and they just slid along the because I was holding on, but it just slid until I hit a pole with my face. So if I could erase, I would have been holding onto that pole with two hands and not end up with a black eye my first week in Germany. 10 days, I think I had a black eye and ended up with a scar. That's
Yeah.
my most recent thing I would change if I could. It about traumatized my little grandson. He just like this. He wanted to make sure every time I was on a bus, I was holding on to something. He didn't want grandma to get hurt again. That was sweet.
That's nice. If life was a game, like most people would say, what are some of the rules?
Find your joy. Find what makes you, what you were meant to do. Find your origin story. Find out who and what you are and where you're going, where you came from. For me, that answer is in God. I found a relationship with God in college, and it has rooted and grounded me and found my values to be wrapped around what is good, what is bad, is, love and grace and truth. So those are the anchors and the roots and the rules that I live my life. Our family lives our lives by, and it gives us a lot of joy. Freedom.
Sweet. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what food would that be?
Pizza. I think I could eat it every day. And think of all the different things you could put on pizza, and it's still the perfect food.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. What do you like to collect?
We don't have any walls that aren't covered with artwork, original art. It's everywhere in my house.
Nice. If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what would you have a good chance at winning a gold medal for?
Portrait painting.
That actually makes sense. I could see that.
I'm fast too. I could do it fast if they timed you.
Nice. Cool.
I could get a likeness fast. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite type of day?
I like sunny with a breeze, taking going to the park with my husband, taking my sketchbook, seeing the alligators. We got alligators in our park. Right about a mile away, we got a park with an alligator, a bunch of alligators. That's fun. They don't bother us, but one of them I watched give a ride to a turtle across the pond. Now, have you ever seen that before? I wish I had a better lens on my phone because I would have taken a better picture. It's kind of fuzzy, but that I saw that alligator week by week staring down this turtle. I'm thinking, is that alligator going to have turtle soup? But then finally one day I watched it carry that turtle across the pond on its back. Then it went underwater. I thought, okay, now he's going to eat the turtle, but he didn't. The turtle went off swimming one direction and the alligator went the other way. Pretty wild.
Yes.
Doesn't that sound like a fun day?
Yes. It's quite a fun day, absolutely. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?
Mentally.
Yes, of
Hmm.
course. And that is all we have for this episode. It's great having you on, Karen, talking about your love for art, your inspirations to the young ones, and everything else. It's been great.
Thank you. You ask very unique questions, so I appreciate that. Thank you very
You're,
much.
you're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.